Yes, people, wife boy, and the football season is over, meaning we are back with Arsenal-related transfer videos. And barely one day into the season finishing, Fabrizio Romano has dropped a bomb involving the top two Premier League clubs. And that is all about Manchester City right back slash left back, Joao Cancelo. Fabrizio tweeted, understand Man City are ready to sell Joao Cancelo this summer. He'll return from Bayern. €70 million buy option won't be triggered. Arsenal appreciate Cancelo. He's one of the names in the list. Barca have genuine interest since January, but depends on financial fair play. So that's really interesting. I mean, we know that Pep Guardiola has, of course, fallen out with Joao Cancelo. It happened in January, and he shipped him out to Bayern Munich. Many people were surprised at the time. It kind of came out of left field. And since then, it's seen that Pep Guardiola does not want to bring Joao Cancelo back. I don't blame him. Since then, Man City have been absolutely brilliant with their four centre-back defensive kind of system, with Ake playing that left-back role and Carl Walker / John Stones playing that right-back role. So he probably doesn't want Joao Cancelo back, and he's looked at it and gone, we can get a good amount of money for this guy. I mean, only 2 seasons ago, Joao Cancelo was regarded as one of the best fullbacks in world football. And now he just can't seem to get into the Man City team anymore, and neither do Bayern Munich want him. Where does that leave Arsenal, Mikel Arteta? Well, Mikel Arteta, of course, was the assistant manager under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, so would have had a lot of time with Joao Cancelo and is a keen admirer of the man. The only problem is, how are the relations between Manchester City and Arsenal, right? Because we took Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko from them. They wanted, obviously those players wanted to leave, and Man City thought, you know what, Arsenal won't be a big challenge to us. They barely finished out of Champions League last season. They finished 5th. I will give them those players. We can't expect them to kick on too much. They were dearly wrong with that. Arsenal almost end up winning the Premier League with 2 Man City ex-players. So I doubt they'd want to sell to Arsenal again. So that's the only thing that scuppers these type of plans. The other thing is, right, is Mikel Arteta going to move away from the traditional right-back, left-back formation? I mean, we've seen it against Forest and again against Wolves on the final day. Mikel Arteta's back four was Gabriel, Ben White, Partey at right back, and Kivior at left back. Very similar to how Pep Guardiola was playing his defensive formation, where no traditional fullbacks. I mean, Kieran Tierney couldn't get into the side. And just playing that centre-back / defensive midfielder at right back. Maybe that's the type of system he wants to move into. So, Joao Cancelo is on the list, but does that necessarily mean that he's priority for Arsenal? I'm not too sure in that respect. We know Arteta has got a keen eye on Joao Cancelo, but is he the right man to take Arsenal forward? I'm not too sure in that respect. Also, we know it's going to cost a lot of money. Man City don't want to sell to Arsenal, but if we offer the right amount of money, they probably won't say no. But what is the right amount of money? We're talking about 50, 60 million at least, and we know Arsenal are going to have some money to spend this summer. We've made it into the Champions League for the first time in a very long time, 7 seasons in total, I believe. I mean, we're going to have the budget to spend, but is right back, left back the best place to spend our money? I don't believe so. Personally, alongside other Arsenal fans, we want those 2 midfielders, right? I mean, Rice and Caicedo have been the 2 names that have floated about all around Arsenal Twitter and all around Arsenal fan base. We want those 2 players. We want those 2 stalwarts in midfield, and would spending on Joao Cancelo be a poor use of our budget? It's not like we're Newcastle or Chelsea, where we have absolutely millions to spend, where we can afford to blow our money on the right back because we've got ample money to spend on other positions as well. For me, I want the priority to be centre mids as what we go for first. So, like I said, Cancelo as an option is a good one. It's good to see that we're targeting these top players and not just sitting there and going, you know what, he plays for Man City, we won't be able to prize him away. No, we're moving like a big club that can afford and can potentially look at these top players and go, you know what, we're Arsenal, we can get these top players. We're a massive football club. So I like that mentality from the football club. However, I don't necessarily believe he's the best use of our money personally. A player like Caicedo will be a better option for me. Why? Well, for Brighton, he's been playing in the right back position. So I think that's something Arteta can use going forward. I mean, feel free to disagree down in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts anyway in the comment section regarding Joao Cancelo to Arsenal. Do you think he's going to go to Arsenal? Do you think he's going to leave Man City? Would you take him at Arsenal? What alternatives would you like Arsenal to sign? And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe on my road to 2,000 subscribers as I'm releasing Arsenal transfer news videos basically every day, covering all the big stories related to Arsenal Football Club. You do not want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe down below and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video. But yeah, Caicedo for Brighton has played that auxiliary right back role, and I think Arteta will like that going forward. We've seen Partey play that right back play that right back position, so maybe he's looking to make that a potential position for Partey going forward. But if Caicedo comes in, he's been used to playing that position under Brighton. So now you look at it and go, hang on a minute, we have Caicedo as an auxiliary right back. We could potentially have then Jorginho as a CDM or Rice as a CDM, and you can really see this Arsenal team start to build out. It's no surprise that Granit Xhaka will be leaving us at the end of the season. He had his farewell game yesterday. Check out the vlog on my channel after you finish this one, as I went to the final game, and it was a really good game as well, really good send-off for Granit Xhaka. That's going to leave a massive hole in midfield. So you're looking at potentially 2 midfielders to bring in. For me, I want another number 6 to rival Thomas Partey, and if that means Thomas Partey has to go, so be it. But also, I do want another box-to-box midfielder to replace Granit Xhaka and improve upon Granit Xhaka. not just replace, it's time to improve and move forward as a football club. So I love Rice and Caicedo. Caicedo can play that number 6 role and slot in at right back, and we know Rice can be converted into that box-to-box role. I think he's got the capabilities, the technical ability to play that box-to-box role that Xhaka has done. I mean, Xhaka didn't play that role before this season, and Arteta's moulded him into that role. And if he can mould Xhaka into that role, I fully believe he can mould Declan Rice into that similar type of role. But in terms of other players around the football club, right? So for me, Caicedo and Rice have to be a must in midfield, but there's more positions we have to address. Midfield isn't enough at this football club. I'm looking at potential backup attacking player. Whether it's a right winger or striker, I'm not too sure right now, but I'd want one of the two. Apparently, we've been linked to Victor Gyökeres from Coventry City, and many people thinking, who is that? And to be fair, I was saying the same thing, but when I watched him in the EFL Championship final for Coventry against, Luton Town FC, of course, Luton Town won and got promoted to the Premier League. Congratulations to them. But Victor Gyökeres played amazing in that game, in my opinion, especially the second half. First half, he was a little bit quiet, but since then, really good. He's a player he's a tall striker, Swedish striker as well. He's really good at using his body and manipulating the ball. He offers like a plan B. He reminds me a lot of Alexander Mitrovic for Fulham. He gets a lot of goals and assists as well. He contributes a lot of goal involvements. He was previously at Brighton, if that matters to anyone around. We know Brighton seems to do well with their scouting department. So I think it'd be a really good plan B option for Arsenal. He would come on a cut fee as well, coming from the Championship. Could be a really good second option striker. But that's not enough. Of course, Arsenal have renewed Reece Nelson's contract. So I don't necessarily expect us to go out and buy another right winger, unfortunately. I'd love for us to do so, but who knows, man. The market for wingers are really expensive right now. And unless we want to sign the top players like Rafael Leao, Cavara from Napoli, for example, we're going to have to spend a lot of money. I don't expect Arsenal to spend that kind of money in the summer, especially with midfield being our priority. But other than that, I think then you start to move on to right back, left back and centre back, being like the fourth potential player to fill in my priority list. For me, it's the first two midfielders, then the backup attacking player. Then I'm looking at a right back, left back, and also a backup centre back as well. So when I look at Joao Cancelo, right, I like the potential player. I like the fact that we're looking at a player like him. I just don't think it's the right move for Arsenal. I think that if we brought in two midfielders, an attacking backup player, then we're looking at Cancelo, then I'll be very happy with it. But to look at him so early, it's not the right move for me, man. It's the wrong player to fill in. It's potentially the right player at the wrong time. That's why I personally believe it. I think we should be looking at other players first in the midfield positions. Then you can start to look at someone like Cancelo at right back, left back. But for me, I think left back's more of a glaring weakness. Tierney could be set to leave. We know Newcastle are interested. I think he'd want to go to Newcastle. It'd be the perfect move for Tierney, right? He stays in the Premier League and he gets to go up north. We know the documentary was a little bit homesick, of course, coming from Scotland. Newcastle basically is in Scotland, but it's so far up north. So I think that'd be the perfect move for him. He'd do really well up there as well. With Kieran Trippier the other side, Eddie Howe as the manager, I think he'd really like that signing. I personally wouldn't want him to go to Newcastle. I think we should ship him out abroad, personally. But if the player's wishes, if he wants to stay in the Premier League, then you have to appease the player's wishes at the end of the day, right, man? That's that. You got to have some kind of professionalism and class about you. But that means you have to find a backup, because Zinchenko is a brilliant left back in the way he controls the game, but he's not a left back that can defend. Pep Guardiola's comments he made at the back end of the season really resonated with me. He goes, I played all these different left backs in there. I played Rico Lewis, etc. Played Joao Cancelo, players like that. Played Bernardo Silva at left back. But he got to a point where he just realised he needed a left back that can defend. And what he realised was the best left backs were the ones that were primarily defenders / centre backs in Nathan Ake and John Stones. And that's who he started playing his full back positions. He realised that when he comes up against Vinicius, when he comes up against Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Rashford, players like that, at the end of the day, it's all good having a left back that can control the game like Zinchenko, like Bernardo Silva. But sometimes you need a defender that can just defend, can just do plan A, which is defend his man and not be a weakness in the team. And Zinchenko, for all the time he controls the ball, now I've applauded him throughout the season. I've given him his credit that sometimes in games, it's like we've got 12 players on the pitch because Zinchenko pops up here, there and everywhere. But other times, you just want the man to defend. Like Liverpool away in the last 2-3 minutes. Just defend. He gets nutmegged by Trent, and lo and behold, 20 seconds later, Firmino puts the ball in the back of the net, basically. So you're looking and you're thinking, we need to have a backup defender. And if Kieran Tierney wants to go, we have to replace him with another one. Maybe someone that can do a bit of the both. Maybe not as good at controlling the game as Zinchenko, not as good technically, not as good as an auxiliary midfielder that is a left back, but equally can defend like Tierney. That's what I think Arsenal should be looking at. So yeah, if I had to look at my priority list for Arsenal this summer, it'd be looking at the two midfielders first, Rice and Caicedo for me. Them two get him in the door. De Zerbi's already said that he expects Caicedo to leave this summer, and the Rice rumours aren't going anywhere. We expect him to leave as well. Then I'm looking at a backup striker / right winger. Someone like Victor Gyökeres from Coventry could be a good option for me. Other than that, many people won't like that because it's not a household name. You can look at other strikers, right wingers. I don't mind. Just bring someone competent in. That can be a good plan B option for Arsenal. And then after that, look at a backup left back / backup right back and the backup centre-back. So I'm looking at 5 potential positions for Arsenal to bring in, as well as all the outgoings. In terms of Arsenal's budget, rumours have floated about that we've got about 150 to 180 million to spend, plus any outgoings. So who knows? Of course, outgoings-wise, we know Xhaka's going to leave for 15 million. Rob Holding potentially could leave. We're looking at Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal floats about to leave. Nuno Tavares, Pablo Mari. So there's a lot of players that Arsenal want to get rid of, a lot of the deadwood. That should amount to some amount of money, and let's see how far that takes us. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on Joao Cancelo to Arsenal. Do you like the signing? Do you not like the signing? Who would you like as the alternatives, etc.? Do you think it will go through? And other than that, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I've been Wonderful to see you all in my next one. Take care.